Yeah. Yeah. Guess who came back with a large fucking fist to eat the Brooklyn blast furnace? I brought your ugly bitch with me. Your shit is sus. Ain't nobody trying to hear you talk. When Jimmy's on the mic, they take your whack shit and turn it off. It's real life, not them stories that you punks say. He made it out alive, and he's relatively unscathed. So subscribe to the podcast and share the post and tell your stupid friends to do the same. You heard it here from Coast.
I'm going right in. Another episode of the Brooklyn Blast Furnace with my friend over here, Mr. Craig Ahead. Craig, what is this like this is no joke. I think this is like the 5th time you're on in some capacity.
I think it's the 3rd, but yeah, something
like
that.
No. It's like maybe 3rd like this, but there was like 1 or 2 times where we did the whole big pizza thing.
Like this?
Yeah, like this.
We did the pizza thing too. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
right.
But that was like a melee though. That was supposed to be like me and like Rich.
Hold on. Which we did the pizza thing. We did L&B, and then we did Amore, right? We did both.
We did 3, 4, 5. This is like 6 times.
But we did both pizza places, Brooklyn and Queens.
Yeah, that was like a week apart, but we combined it into one big episode.
Two great meals. I mean,
let's
not kid ourselves. 2 great meals. I mean, Jesus.
That's right. I forgot about the Amore thing. Yeah, that's right. But the first one we went to, what was it, like Roses in Queens? It was like me, you.
Oh, yeah. We did like a pizza crawl.
Yeah, it was like Armand was there, Richie Crutch was there, Noodles was there. It was a fucking melee.
Roses was all right. It was, underwhelming.
Yeah, and then we went somewhere else, and I don't remember where it was. But at
people swear by Roses.
It was all right.
It was all right.
I love how we just jumped right into food.
Went nowhere near L&B or Amore, that's for sure.
No, absolutely not. L&B is like top squares.
Did you ever go with me to that place in Staten Island, the Square on Annandale, when we were doing the album? Did you come up and do backups, and did we eat there?
We didn't eat there. You guys got it delivered to the studio.
From a bunch of places. Good pizza in Staten Island, man.
But I think I have pictures somewhere. There was like a bunch. You guys got. I remember me and you were having espresso with our pinkies out.
There's no C, K, or X in espresso. It's
espresso. I know. Espresso. I say that on purpose. Come on, why are you correcting me? I say it on purpose. Like
did I make ravioli when you came?
No, when I first
Pasco's over there, we'd eat. It's great.
No, when I first walked in, you were eating an avocado with pink Himalayan sea salt grinder.
Oh, there you go. A little olive oil, maybe some vinegar.
Yeah.
I'm going to have that for dinner tonight, I think.
Is that what you're going to have? Listen, I'm a big fan of the avocado.
Avocado's great, man. Gotta get those clean fats in there.
You do. Yeah, but there was a spot. I could look at my pictures, but I think it's called Squares on Annandale or some shit like that.
Very good. It tastes just like L&B, but it's a little sweeter. Both are great. I mean,
it was very similar. It did. Yeah, it was the upside down deal.
That was like the whole thing. They had the beef because they used to work there or something.
Somebody got killed.
Yeah, pizza beef.
Bro, they got killed over the.
Too much drama with pizza. Like, just eat it and enjoy it.
Why isn't there like a movie about that? That's like a movie. It's like somebody got murdered in their backyard for stealing the sauce recipe from L&B.
It's just ridiculous,
it's
man.
Fucking amazing.
Listen, I'll say this. Like, I'm trying to be serious. I could make a million jokes now, but Jimmy, you and I, blah blah blah, this that, we go at each other. We're not going to do that now. It's like going
right.
On, but,
my daughter looked at us like we were 5 years old the other night
because we were like the kids and she was the adult. But the truth is, like, pizza's to be eaten. You understand that, and pizza. So like, I respect that about you.
Oh, thanks.
Let me just say that for the record. I never had pizza drama with you. Like, like fun debates, but you eat the stuff. You eat it, you enjoy it, and what else? What are you supposed to do?
You break bread, you talk shit. But I'm not on this pizza thread. These highly coveted pizza fucking.
No, I don't get involved in that. No.
No.
Well, what pizza? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you
Pizza
have like
thread?
text threads with certain people talking about things
No, no, no. I had a pizza thread a long time ago that I started, and then I left it, and I left it to other people to because
to
they
carry
like
on
to
tradition.
they like to talk about pizza and a lot of different pizzas, and I like to eat a few pizzas. A lot of places I go that I don't really like the pizza, so I don't go back.
Right.
I go to the places I really like. There's a handful of places I really like. I'll go there. I'll try some other places, and when I find something I really like, it'll get in the rotation.
Right. I did not get a chance to go this time around to El Dorado, your recommendation on
That
Saturday
place is
night.
good. Up in Troy, New York. The owner, they do shows in the back. I saw HR play there. It's a bar with
Really?
a little room in the back, and they have bands play. Small room, probably holds like 100 people. Really fun spot to play. The owner's a very nice guy. The guy at the door is like into hardcore and punk and all that, and they're just very cool people. And they make a Detroit style pizza in the back that's like really really good.
It
Just
was
simple,
weird. You were like, yeah, you
good.
got to call first and make sure the pizza guy is there in
Because
order.
you know what it is, the guy's there and he's making pizza, but then he leaves at the end of the night. Like it's not like a pizza place; it's like a bar club that makes pizza. So you
Oh,
gotta you
okay.
gotta catch him. You know what I mean? You gotta. It's hard to catch him. Lately, I've been having very bad luck catching him. But when you do catch him, you get that just sauce and cheese, uh, Detroit style. It's really really good.
I don't know about Detroit style. I've never been to Detroit.
It's almost like an upside down, but with burned edges. It's almost
Oh,
like the
see, I
cheese
like
is
that though.
burned on it. Yeah, it's like a Brooklyn Square-ish, you know?
Okay. All right,
A
that
little,
kind of makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah, and you brought up, it was funny because I thought text threads, and you're on a text thread. Shout out to my friend. You're like, oh, you know him? I was like, of course I do. The Danny Northside Kings.
Oh, great guy.
Best dude. I was on a road trip. It was so loud at the show the other night, so I was bullshitting. We were yelling at each other. You were in my ear about meatballs. You made like 13 small meatballs or something like that.
Yeah, I made Munchkin size meatballs the other day.
Yeah, it
Good.
was
Came out good. You know what I mean? I got my little trick to keep them moist. Like, it came out really good.
okay. So, yeah,
Notice I don't tell you the trick, you know?
yeah. No, you did. You mentioned something about cornstarch, bro.
It's a Chinese trick.
I knew something about Chinese something there.
You put a teaspoon of cornstarch in, and it retains moisture. If you put too much in, it's like an explosion of liquid. But a little bit, that's what the Chinese do, and that's how they keep things moist. So it works very well. It
Oh,
doesn't taste like anything; it just retains moisture. I mean,
oh,
you don't have to do that, but it you'll notice that it makes it a little fluffier and a little more moist.
meatballs
In meatballs with a cornstarch, a teaspoon of cornstarch per pound.
per pound.
When you got your breadcrumbs and you got
It's so weird.
one egg,
You're so like serious right
a
now.
lot
It's
of a lot of
weird.
locatelli. You got to put a lot of locatelli in there. You know what's
Right.
up.
Of course I know what that is. So I was on this crazy road trip last summer with my daughter, and I went through California and I went through Arizona, and I stopped by.
Your daughter is very cool, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll get to that in a second because I'll go off track. So we stopped with my daughter at Danny's house in Arizona, and it happened to be a Sunday. And he's like, "Oh, you're coming down, the fucking best dude, bro. He made Sunday sauce, meatballs, this and that, and then at night we all jump in his pool, and we were hanging out. He's smoking a cigar. We're just like chilling in the pool with our elbows up on the thing, and we're watching outside. We're watching Rocky Four. Like it was just like
That's great.
what a great fucking experience, dude.
Yeah, it's great. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
Like I,
awesome.
I, I have a thread with him and Gallo, and we talk about food a lot. And
I brought Danny to LMB for his first time too when he was here. Where he had like a
really,
book signing. Yeah, I brought
he,
him.
did he love it?
Of course, he wanted to buy a house really close. He said he bought a house.
That's great.
He said that he bought a house in Arizona because it was very close to like one of the best delis. And he was like, hey, what's the real estate around here? I'll buy a house really close to here for this
Yeah,
pizza.
good luck. Good luck buying a
Yeah,
house in
good
Brooklyn.
luck.
You better be billionaire.
But yeah, that's what he wanted to do.
But
Hilarious.
he's great. I have that thread with him and Gallo, and we talk about food and we just joke around.
Yeah.
I like people that are cool. I go back and forth with. Your phone doesn't accept texts apparently, so I have a
I
little
don't know why.
trouble
I have a
staying in
regular
contact with
Samsung.
you.
You live in the woods. It's not my phone.
It's
But we
not.
were having texts the other day, And then today,
there's probably a setting in your phone that's making it not go through because people with Samsungs, they get through too easy. It's just, green text instead of a blue, which means it's not an iMessage.
oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I know some stuff.
Yeah, like a tech guy. Yeah, my daughter.
No,
Yeah, my daughter's. She's like coming around. Like she came to a couple. She went to a couple of shows with her friends in Jersey, and she went to see. She came with me, and she saw like Stick to Your Guns and Terror and Bane at the
oh,
mall
that's good.
a few months ago, and so I was like, oh, you want to come upstate? She wasn't gonna come this weekend. Last weekend I was like, oh, we'll go up. We'll go up to Albany. I got a hotel room. We'll hang out. It'll be something different to do. And she
You
loved
stayed
it.
across the street? I thought that's
Yeah,
all right, yeah.
it's nothing fancy. It does. It's a fucking Hampton
It's
Inn.
like a buck 50 a room or something.
Actually, it was a lot more because when I saw you up at the Extreme Music Awards a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It was like I was up there for 2 nights, and it was cheap. It was like $240 for like 2 nights, right?
Yeah.
But then it was like $260 for one night.
Yeah, you got
So what
hotels are
happened?
weird like
There was
that.
like a cheerleading. There was like kids, like young girl cheerleading competition thing or something. I don't know. Maybe that's
Weird.
why.
That's probably why they probably
Yeah,
priced
some
it
sort
for
of
all
weird
that.
event or some shit. But yeah, she when she met you, and she was just looking at us like we were just two idiots.
Oh yeah. Well, we're having fun. We're
Of
laughing good time.
course, yeah. Valenti, she likes Valenti because we all take a picture together, and right as we're about to take the picture, Valenti decides that he licks my ear, and she
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
it,
yeah.
so it
There
was
you go.
hilarious. And she loves Warren Lee,
Who
loves that
doesn't?
guy. Yeah,
Warren's the best guy in the world.
super super good dude. So yeah, man,
That was fun the other night. Like, how fun was that?
was
That was great. That was a great show. It was fun. You know what it is? Albany always, even I've been going to Albany probably since like 85 or 86 or something like that.
right.
86 maybe.
Yeah,
And Albany always had the coolest people, the
yeah,
best vibe.
yeah,
Everybody's cool. Like every
yeah,
person you meet just is very like warm and cool and
yep.
it's just such a welcoming
It
place
is.
and everyone is just so respectful
Yeah,
and like you don't see fights. I mean, listen, fights happen everywhere, but when there's a fight, it's for like a real reason. Like you'll see
right.
a fight in the crowd but like nobody's doing anything stupid. It's
No.
not like an ego fest. Everyone's cool.
Yeah,
Albany is like the best scene in America, consistently been the best, like
yeah,
most level-headed, just friendliest scene. I've always loved the Albany scene. It's great.
yeah, yeah. I haven't really been up there. Like honestly, it was like the second time I went to a show up in Albany. There was nothing really, Valenti invited me up there for the Extreme Music Awards and shit, and then I saw how everything was because the first night there was in the small club underneath and underground, the small.
Yeah, you went to the small one, right?
Well, yeah, I was with you. That's where I saw you.
All right.
And I remember we started yelling and screaming and taking pictures and the whole fucking. It was a whole to do.
Yeah, I played there with the Take a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
We did a gig with Sheer Terror there. It's fun.
Yeah, man. And my daughter, everybody that my daughter met, everybody was like, oh, nice. Everybody was super fucking cool, man. So she was comfortable and there was no reason for her not to be because she's like me, bro. Like she's just like, she's in the middle of everything. She doesn't give a shit, which is a good thing.
That's good. Well, you
Yeah,
just get out of work. You work late, huh?
I get out of work. I left work about 20 to 6.
All right. All right.
By the time I get home, I jump on the train, bro. I work in the city. So I jump on the train. I come home. I threw myself in the shower. And I fucking, I don't want to keep you up. I know you're famished. You got to eat dinner soon. So
Yeah, I'm gonna eat dinner soon. I
I
made some.
figure I would jump on here, a little bit early and, shoot the shit with you. And also, I mean, people probably, not to put anyone's business out there, but can you just really quick, without any details, how is Lou doing?
Lou's doing very well. He finished all his treatments roughly 2 months ago. The way it really went down is he had his first round of chemo. After that, they tested him and they didn't find any living bad stuff in him. It seemed like it worked
Right.
very well and was very effective. So then about a month later, they did the surgery. He had a tumor where his esophagus meets his stomach. They took that out. They examined it after it was taken out, and they told him that it had nothing living in it. It was just basically dead flesh, and he had a few little cells in his lymph node over here in his neck. And they also reiterated that, hey, we don't see anything there either, which is exactly what happened at the first round of chemo. And then, after the surgery, it took him a few, like a month and a half or whatever, 5 weeks to recover, 6 weeks, not recover, but till they were able to do the chemo again, because they got to stretch it in the scar tissue. It's,
Of course.
it's a difficult thing. And then they gave him that showed no living anything in there. Everything was okay. And then they finished the last round of chemo about 2 months ago, and they're waiting until May to test him again. And there's no reason to think that the results should be any different, because his body seems to really be responding very well to the treatment. I mean, he's worn out, and
Of
it's going to
course.
take him. He's going to spend the rest of the year, eating and trying to,
Gain weight.
do what exercise you can do for now. I mean, it's a slow process. He's worn out now, but hopefully by the end of the year, hopefully by the hope is that by 26 we get back out there.
That would be
You know,
awesome. Yeah,
it's
man.
the he's tough man. He's a tough man. Like, he
He
handled
is.
this with such dignity.
Yeah.
I'm like really proud of
Sure.
facing that and the way he handled it. He's like
Yeah.
a very
He was always like,
dignified.
I know he never really flew like the straight edge flag or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, he never.
But he is,
I
yeah.
know, I know, but he is. But he was never. It was more for him. He never like ever
Yeah.
preached that. As far as I knew, he
I
never
mean,
preached any of that. So
I've
which
seen him.
that helps.
Oh yeah, yeah. He'll have a sip of wine with dinner if we're in France and they have wine on the table. He'll take 2 sips of wine, but so will I, basically. Like,
Right.
not enough to feel anything from it, but just for the taste, I'll take like a little mini sip.
If you're in
And then,
France and exactly, yeah, I get
so,
that.
that kind
That's
of
nothing.
thing.
Right.
But he's
Good.
he really showed what he's made of. It's great.
Damn right. Yeah.
Guy's tough.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting now, and I try not to crawl up his ass. You know what I mean? Give him some room, because I know he's not.
Right.
It's a tough time, but he's doing well, and we're looking forward to making the greatest comeback in history.
That would be amazing. I text him like once a month, maybe, because I
A
know
re, a,
he's
re, a reunion, a comeback. It's
dude.
all of that rolled into one.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't wait for that shit to happen, man.
Yep. It's going to be a special thing that we're coming back, and you know, we're
What?
gonna we got to set it up right though, so he's comfortable,
Of
and
course.
make sure that everything goes smooth. It's going to take there's a bit of planning involved to make sure everything's smooth and
Absolutely.
proper, and then we'll I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So, what have you been doing to keep yourself busy? You've been out on the road. You did a couple of really cool things that you seem very grateful to have the opportunity to do.
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time working on some personal projects, that were very physical. I had Mike DeJean help me with some construction projects, and that was difficult. And but during that, I got the opportunity to play with Marky Ramone, which was great.
Yeah.
I played like 10 shows with him, and it was like three little runs, and he's a great guy, and it was so much fun playing that material.
Yeah,
And
man.
it was just real. And Tommy Victor was on guitar,
Awesome.
and yeah, and Palo the singer is a great guy. I mean, the whole crew that he rolls with, all of his people, his wife, and his TM James, and everybody he deals with were just great guys. His drum tech's a great guy. So
Yeah.
that was really fun playing that classic material. I had to learn it all in about 2 weeks, so it was like,
I figured you would know a lot of it, though. No.
I know it in my head. I know the songs, but I never
Right.
figured them out on bass, because I never really played in the Ramones band, or outside of like, Blitzkrieg Bop. I don't really know how to play much of that stuff, but
Right.
my ear is really good. I can figure stuff out like really
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty musically inclined. So I just had to devise a system, you know, X 5 songs a day for 8 days. I figure out 5 songs for 8 days. By the end, I got basically the 40 songs down, and then I have 6 days to review them, and I would do them in 5 song sections, stacked and re-looped. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, You know what I'm saying? It's like
The set was 40 songs.
it was 39 songs, yeah.
Jesus.
So I had to
Okay.
learn them all and get them down in 2 weeks and the vocals and all that. So that's what's hard. And the Ramones stuff, it's so you hear how they write songs, it's so memorable. Their
Yeah.
chord changes, a lot of them are similar to other songs because they do very vocal based sing-songy sing-alongs.
Yes.
So sometimes the parts will be just like turnarounds, reversals of other parts. So you kind of get confused with
Mm.
which way the three notes stack for this part because in another song it does it a different way. So a couple little flubs here and there the first show or two, but after that it was good. I even during we were playing a big festival, my headstock hit the mic and went out of tune, and I was like trying to tune up on this. A couple of crazy little things happened, but it was great. I mean, we sounded really tight
Yeah.
and everything. What I found out is that my voice is good when I sing clearly, stuff like that. I can sing pretty well. So I
Right.
felt pretty good about that. And we did those shows and if he ever needs me, he's got my number. So we'll see how it goes.
Nice.
He's
That's
got
awesome.
guys. He's had guys for a long time, but sometimes the people can't make it or whatever happens, and
Sure.
you know he knows I jump right in with him in a
Yeah.
second
Hell yeah.
if he needs me,
Yeah, man. Now
and
you also did you recently did a run with Judge now?
yeah, Judge, those guys are all
Always fucking
yeah
good. Always.
old friends of mine. I
Sure.
played in youth of today with some of those guys. I might have known Sammy since the 80s, Charlie since he came to New York. So those guys are old friends of mine. So so I don't play every show, but I play a lot of them because their bass player, he plays sometimes and sometimes he doesn't. So I
Sure.
step in and it's great. It sounds really good. I mean, we definitely click very well together playing,
Sure.
and they're great guys. So I have
And you
fun
know these
playing.
guys for 40 something years.
It's so easy. They're just so mellow. Like everything's just so chill. So it's
Yeah.
really great. You know what I mean? You get all those personalities. I've known those guys forever.
Yeah.
You see Sammy and Purcell do their back and forth. They have like a me and Armand routine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like watching. I'm like, all right, this is pretty good. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
they got their little interactions. I'll roll with Charlie a little bit. This kind of keeps me neutral and a little out of trouble. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Anything crazy happens, I go to Mike for protection. You know how it goes.
Of course. Some Mike for protection.
That's
I, have, I
how, but
haven't spoken to I haven't spoken to Mike in a while, but it was really cool because I did one of these with him before
okay.
COVID and shit. Like I
Yeah,
picked him up from his house.
Mike's great.
Oh, bro, it was awesome. I picked him up from his house. He was like, I'll give you turn by turn directions. And we went to some diner by his house and we're just sitting there. I'm like eating a burger, just like this bullshit for like 2 hours. Like you hear the waitress come over, we place our order. It was just fucking super cool. Super
Back in
cool
like
guy.
86 or 87. I think it was a turn of 86 to 87 when we did that Youth of Today tour. Like, spent like a summer with Mike in California. It was like,
That was what break down the walls time frame.
yeah, Break Down the Walls tour. And that's so, like those guys, like,
One of my
it's a
favorite straight edge
good,
records, by
good
the way.
memories, good memories. And I also the take. I'm doing the take now. That when the take formed years ago, they asked me to play bass, and I said, "Yeah, I'll play bass." But what wound up happening is Scott was writing songs and sending them to me, but I never actually got to play with them because I was so busy touring with Sick of It All that it never happened.
All right.
And after a while, I basically just said, "Guys, I'm gonna hold you up forever. Like I don't. You guys have good material.
Yeah.
If you wait for me, like it's just, I mean, I kept balking because I got to go on tour. I can't do this now. I got to wait
Right.
a month. Then a month goes by. I go, all right, maybe we can meet once, but Willie had to do something, for example. So like I kept holding him up. So I told him, let's just go and do it. And but it's nice that I'm able to now get the call back to do it. And
Yeah.
we click musically. Like, I mean, obviously me and Willie played in AF for years, so there's pure
Yeah.
music. It's like Willie's like one of those guys. Willie is like an Armand or a Robert Cheveria or a Matt Henderson. You put me in a room with them and music just comes out. There's no problem. Like
Right.
certain people I just play with and it just works. Like Willie's one of them and Scott's one of them too. Like I played a couple gigs with Scott over the years, uh, just random gigs with different groups, and he's a great player and
Yeah.
he's a great songwriter, great singer. So I love doing that. You know what I mean? I get to really like, and it's a three piece, so it's kind of stripped down. You know what I mean? and
Sure.
I have to like play and sing right. Like it's like that and the Marky thing. It's like very it's a little different. You have to really lock in. It's almost like you're naked. You notice if there's any issues. You know what I
Right.
mean? Whereas with like Judge and Sick of It All, it's a little bigger and more boisterous, so it's a little more forgiving. But it's more like what I'm used to. It's more the way I play. But I can play honed in and tight very well. Also, I was always good at that. So it's good for me as a musician to be able to work with
Yeah.
these different setups. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny. It's like sometimes I forget about certain things. You're like, yeah, I played with Willie in AF for so long, and it's like I almost forget some of your fucking resume because it's a fucking laundry list. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking
I always
gigantic.
played since I was a kid. I always
I
played.
know.
I just always, as soon as I hit the ground running, and I've just been playing ever since with anybody and everybody, you
I
know.
know.
And I've come across some great players and some people I really click with, and I've been very fortunate
Yeah.
to get all
The first
this
thing that
in.
you were on with AF was you played on live at CBGB.
Yes.
That was the first thing that was released with you on it with AF.
That was live at CB's. That came
That was
out really good.
that was before One Voice. That was before One Voice.
That was before Matty Henderson was in AF. That was when Steve Martin was
Steve
playing. So
Martin.
that
Yes.
was like that was like 88 or whatever, 88, 80,
That
yeah,
came
probably
out. I
88.
think that came out in eight. It was released in '89. So
But it was recorded in 88.
probably yeah, yeah. Because One Voice came out in '92.
Okay, yeah.
So that kind of makes.
We stopped playing for a couple years and then we came back.
And in '92, One Voice, and then Last Warning, and then it was over for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask you a silly question. It's not even
Go
silly.
ahead.
It's something. It's something that I just wanted to throw out there. Paint the picture and what was it like recording that One Voice record? Do you remember that shit?
Yeah, I mean, we went to the studio on Rhode Island with Tom Soares, Normandy Sound, but we brought down Fury, which was a weird combo. Roger wanted to get that old school flavor, but they kind of clashed a lot. Like, you know, Don's way of doing it was a lot more stripped down. He was more of like back to nature type recording guy,
Yeah.
whereas Normandy were like very like polished, like so it was weird. But in the end, it all came out pretty good. So it was fun. It
Avery.
was like a lot of comedy, a lot of antics. You know what I mean? We had good times. We had fun, and like I knew people up in Rhode Island. I had some friends, some skaters up there, guys who were punk rock skate guys. So
Yeah.
like I had like my little crew up there, and it was fun. We had a good time. Definitely fun. Roger and his antics. You know what I mean?
Oh, God, I mean, Roger in '92 is probably a completely different person than Roger in 2025, bro.
Yeah. Roger in 2025 is more refined and safer.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know,
Yeah.
still very very dangerous. You got to watch how you approach. Because like people aren't gonna understand what I mean by that.
I
I
understand what
think
you're
you get the
talking
idea.
about. You don't even have to say much, and I know what you're saying.
Psychologically, you have to be strong to deal with Roger and his antics. Let's just
Yeah,
say many a man have been broken.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Fucking shit, man. Well, and it seems like whenever we see each other too, especially lately, but we have to. I feel like before we wrap up, and I'm not going to keep you long because I know that you're hungry. But
Yeah, it's a problem. You know how that goes.
I know it's going to be an issue. You're going to be all over the place. You're not going to remember what you're talking about. You're going to all
Next time I see you, even if it's Marshmallow, like Jimmy, I was
you
starving.
fucking
What's the
you help
matter
me
with
pay
you?
for my fucking meal, you fucking guy. But we have to because it was so weird. I don't know what it was because I'll throw and break balls at you like about some weird random shit, and I don't know what the conversation was initially, but that's when Livingstone Bramble came up, and I
Yeah.
brought him up to you somehow. I was like, yeah, that's my friend. And you were like, is it really? And I was like, no. But for some reason, I don't know where the fuck it came from, but that's one of my earliest boxing memories. As like a
But
little kid
I was
watching like
probably
Wide World of Sports and remembering him. I think, honestly, it might have been why he's in my head, like why I remembered him. I think he was like the first dude I ever seen with like little dreadlocks on TV, bro.
And plus, he's like all like scary looking and all strong looking. So you're like, yo,
Yeah,
this dude's like he had made an impression on you.
he did. I was a little kid. I mean, the early '80s. I must have been
Oh
maybe
yeah,
like
great
six or
fighter.
seven.
Yeah, when
Six
you
or seven.
told me that, you're like Livingstone Bramble. I was like, how do you know Livingstone Bramble?
Yeah,
You
I
even
don't
like
know.
you even knew that he changed his name to Ross I Bramble, which is
Yes,
like
of course.
I'm
And
like I know that because I'm a boxing guy, but I
and I'm
don't
not
expect
really
other
a
people to
boxing
know
guy.
that.
Like I know like a little bit. I
Ah, if you know that, that's something.
it's something, but I don't know. Like I'm not like a fucking expert by any means. You know what I mean? You know who's a boxing guy? Vinny Paz.
Yes, I'm friends with Vinny. Vinny knows boxing very well. Did you know that Vinny's aunt and uncle trained Jeff Chandler, the bantamweight champion?
I didn't know
K,
that. You know, Vinny Paz has a
KO,
box. Vinny
KO
Paz
Becky
has a
was his aunt. No, I know.
he has a boxing podcast.
I know all about it. Yeah, yeah. He actually, they were talking about having me on there as a guest.
You
I'd
should
probably
do
have,
it.
I'd have trouble keeping up with the modern state of the game because those guys still got their finger on the
Yeah,
pulse. I knew boxing, my whole life, but in the last, bunch of years, I don't keep up with it like I used to.
yeah. I don't know how you.
When I was serious with it and I was like training, then I really followed it because it's hard to explain. It was like a threat. I
Right,
had to like be on point and like always be learning and always be sharp and
right.
always kind of be ready. Now that that threat is gone, it's not as urgent as it was, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense to me, and it was fucked up because
It's
it
like a
was.
young man's mentality back then. You know what I mean?
I get it, of course, bro. You have things going on. I have no time for. I like football and baseball. I used to be all in 20 years ago, all in Yankees, everything. Now I don't have time. I
Yeah,
don't have.
boxing was like music for me. I was
Yeah,
like super driven and super into it, but I wasn't able to really do it to the capacity that I do music because music is my career and
sure.
it's my like primary, you know what I mean? But that like, like I was able to pursue it when I wasn't doing music, which is hard because the fitness level and the conditioning level, it's hard to get in there when you've been on tour for 6 weeks.
Oh, you think?
You come back, you get tuned up for the first couple weeks. You get your ass, you get tuned up, man. You get in there,
Yeah,
you get tuned up. And then by the time you start getting sharp, you leave again. You come back, you get tuned up all over again.
yeah, nice. Yeah, but it was messed up because I don't know if it was me or you first who like texted one another. It was like fucking Big George Foreman, like rest in peace, which
Oh,
was
rest in
sad.
peace. What a great, what a, what a,
No, I think
what a,
I
what
texted,
a, that's an
I
American hero. George Foreman's a real
bro.
American hero.
Yeah, I text. No, it was because I texted you that, and then you responded with me, Livingstone Bramble, and I'm like,
You, you didn't know?
I didn't know, and then I looked it
Oh,
up, and it was the same.
sorry,
They
Jimmy. I
got him
broke
the
your heart.
same day.
Yeah, it broke your heart. Sorry, Jimmy.
He didn't break my heart. It was just like I didn't know what you were talking about at first. I'm like, what?
Even after his championship days, when he moved up to like junior welterweight, he would like fight on like Tuesday night fights all the time. And he would fight guys like up and comers like Obakar, and he'd like take these guys to hell. I'd watch, I'd be like Livingstone Bramble's like old now and he's past his prime. He would come in, that style where he
Yeah,
kept his hands like this and just took
yeah,
punches and just bah, 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 he would rip, cover, rip. I was like, oh, this guy's still. Him and Obakar fought to, I believe it was a draw, or maybe Obakar might have won a split decision, but it was debated.
yeah.
And Obakar never was. He never, he was no longer the guy who was going to be the champ after that because Livingstone Bramble was like a wrecking ball.
He was, but his record isn't even really that good either. He's
A lot of
69,
those, what is he?
69 and 26 with
It's
25
a lot of
knockouts.
those later fights. Those later fights, he was an opponent type. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a nasty opponent type. But he was like, I'd watch
Yeah.
him like lose a 10-round decision on Tuesday night fights. But like he dropped the guy twice, and the guy would like you'd never hear about the other guy again. Like ugly,
Yeah.
ugly stuff, man.
Yeah. Fucking funny, man. Yeah, I don't know why, but he's like my guy for whatever fucking reason.
Great fighter.
Yeah, but he would always have his snake around his neck and shit. Always
Yeah,
with snake.
he was hard. I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
I was reading that one he would eat weed instead of smoke it when the fight got close. He would eat it instead of smoke it.
really?
Yeah.
It's all right. I guess it's a little odd.
That's his thing. He was a Rasta, It's
Yeah.
part of his
Hash
cultural thing, you know what
brownies.
I mean?
When was the last time you partook in a hash brownie, Craig?
Oh, 100 years ago. I don't do that.
Yeah, me too. Like
I don't do anything like
94,
that.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe in the 90s or something like that. I wouldn't do that now.
No.
You know, like at this point, it's like I wanna be aware of what's happening around me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'd have a hard.
I won't even drink a beer. Like I'll drink a
Me neither.
non-alcoholic beer for the taste, but I don't want to feel a buzz or anything like that.
No, me neither. I haven't had a beer in shit. Last September was 10 years. So 10 years and what, 7 months completely sober?
Wow.
Yeah, man. Go to the gym, nice, eat sort of mostly healthy. I just got this
Yeah.
stupid fucking vape thing. That's the only thing I got.
That's terrible. You should get away from that.
Eventually I will, but it's all I got. That and I probably drink too much coffee. But not really that, but like I used to put like a lot of sugar and a lot of bullshit. I've been drinking it.
Nah, sugar's terrible.
It's bad, right? I know, but I've been drinking like the last like month, and now I'm getting used to it. I'm drinking coffee straight black, like gasoline, bro.
I try to get away from starch, you know, because basically starch, you know, pasta, rice, potatoes, it all just corn, it all turns to sugar in your body.
Yeah.
But you know, I go through phases. Like I'll phase that, I'll stop eating that, and I'll lose a bunch of weight, and then I'll normally I would go on tour, and you know, it's hard to really hone it in when you're on tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you eat
What
what you
you what
can.
sick of it all doesn't have a rider?
We do, but it's hard to stick to because, you know, what are we gonna get for dinner? Where are we? It just falls apart when you're on the road. I'll tell you this, I love like pasta. I love rice. I love
Yeah, so do I.
pizza. I'm like a starch head, you know what I mean? So
Me too.
it's hard for me to move away from that, you know what I mean? Like I'm drawn to it, but now that I'm older, if I eat too much of it, it doesn't feel good. I feel tired and I gain weight, which isn't good at this age, you know?
You
So
feel bloated.
yeah, I go through my little phase. I get away from it though, you know?
Yeah. What do you usually eat? You eat a lot of salad and shit?
Oh, vegetables, a lot of vegetables and some lean protein, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been on like the
When I'm
program.
doing well, that's what I do. When I'm not doing well, I eat whatever.
Yeah. Well, you're about to eat avocados for dinner, so it seems like you're on the
Yeah,
right track.
yeah, I'll do all right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. What do you have planned in the near future, Craig?
I got a gig. I'm going to England with the Take coming up in the
Nice.
summer. Uh, Judge, there might be some gigs. I'm not sure. I don't know if there's any market gigs coming up. I know he has a couple of U.S. gigs, but you know, I'm not sure. It's up to him if he calls me or not. He has other, like I said, he has main guys. It just depends on
Schedule.
their coming and goings. You know what I mean? So we'll
Sure.
see. You know, hopefully I get all those calls. It's really fun to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he's you know music first. Same way the Take is. It's music first. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Which I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like try to create good music and perform it well. I mean, all the bands I play in do that. I'm just saying those bands are a little. You got to hone it in a little more. Like I have to sound a little. It always sounds like me, but for different bands, I get a slightly different sound and a slightly different approach because
Sure.
each band needs its own signature, but it still has to sound like me. But I don't give the Sick of It All sound to Marky
No.
or
Right.
or the Take or
Right.
even Judge, even though the Judge sound would be the closest one to
Would be
Sick of It All and all
close.
that. Every band gets its own according to what that band should sound like.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it always sounds like me, which is good.
Yeah. How about sick of it all material? You guys must. I mean, I'm sure. I don't know about Lou as far as lyrics or anything or whatever, but what
Yeah, we're working
I'm
on
sure there's got to be some sick of it all material
we're
because
working on stuff right now.
I'm sure because COVID fucked up the whole touring cycle for Wake the Sleeping Dragon. I know that. So that's been, dude. It's been how many years now since that record came out? Like 7 years.
Yeah, we have
Oof.
a bunch of material that isn't quite put together yet. A
Right.
lot of loosely put together song ideas, rough sketches. So there's a lot. We have like an
I'm
album's
sure.
worth of material easily or more.
I'm
So
sure.
it's just a matter. I'm actually in the process right now of dealing with a couple of Pete's songs and you know just digesting them and you know I'll come back at him and say, hey, this part, you know, what we do,
What we
I
usually do.
listen to it, I go, that part's cool. What do you think about this here? And oh, that's cool. Or maybe what do you you know, it's
You
like a
talk it out.
process.
Yeah.
It's like playing handball. You swat it back and forth and you see what works out best. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Good shit. So maybe because I know that you live not far from Empire Live. How far were you? About a half hour from there?
Yeah, 40 minutes.
All right. So maybe maybe I'll see what the hell is going on, and sooner rather than later, I don't give a shit. I'll fucking drive up there and get a hotel room or whatever,
All
girl.
right, yeah, I think they got tomorrow they got
I'm not going tomorrow. I'm just saying, like,
there's
what
some show going on.
my whole point would be like to go up, maybe link up with you, go have Detroit pizza, we go to the show, hang out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Little
You know?
barbecue.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll make some of my famous barbecue.
yeah, famous barbecue. I want a Chinese meatball.
It's not Chinese
It's
meatball.
fucking Chinese
It's
meatballs,
an
right?
Italian meatball
It's like a
with
little small little Chinese
no,
meatball.
I know it's listen, sometimes you make big meatballs that are the size of a baseball,
Right.
but and then you get what? You get 6 or 8 of them out of a batch, but instead you make them half that size, and it's like little like I call them munchkins, like silver dollar meatballs.
All right. You gotta
It's
make
good,
it. Gotta fucking whip up a batch.
whip up a batch.
Whip up a batch. Like when I come up, we'll have fucking Chinese meatballs.
All right. Hey, I want to also say rest in peace, Eric Red.
Yes.
Everyone called him Terry. He was my friend. I brought him around. He went to high school with me. I was like kid, and I was like 15. I was in like 10th grade, and I would hang out with him at lunch recess in like the schoolyard and at Bayside High School. And he's like, yeah, what's all this hardcore punk stuff? What's the deal with that stuff? All this music you do? And I was like, listen, man, I'm playing CB's on Sunday. My band's playing Come Down.
What band was it?
So I don't remember. It was either Youth of Today or Straight. It was probably Straight Ahead.
It was
And
an Axe Attack.
no, that was like 83.
I have to throw that in there every time we
Yeah,
speak.
yeah, yeah. I
I
was
become an
little.
asshole.
I was like 13 at that point. I was little. We did like exploited covers and like
It's the
Motorhead
hardest name
songs. Yeah,
ever.
it was like
There should be a sick of it all song called Axe Attack.
we were like a dirty little white trash like metal punk band.
Nice.
Dirty. But so I told him to come to CB's and he came to the show. And like he came down and the rest is history. Everybody loved him. The kids in school would be like, "What are you hanging out with him for? He's a weirdo." I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm a weirdo too. What do you
Here's my friend.
This guy's my friend. He's a weirdo just like me. That's why we get along. What do you think? I'm fucking Joe Normal? Come
Normal?
on."
Yeah, yeah, same here.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you think's going on here? You know what I mean? And I'm like, I was like, I fit in better where I go when I'm not here than I do here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
then, so then Tara got involved in the scene, and the rest is history. Everybody loved him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So rest in peace, Tara.
Rest in peace, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are fucking dropping, man. It's sad.
Yeah,
Alexa, yeah,
yeah. Rest in peace, Alexa, my friend.
it's fucking bro, we're getting at that age, bro. Even like celebrities and shit, people dropping like flies. Like, what
That's
the
what
fuck is
happens.
going on? I
What
know it's what
happens.
happens, but it's just we're in that moment now. So it's like
Yeah, yeah.
it's a
Hey,
little fucked up. Who are you
well,
gonna be upset? I gotta throw. I'm gonna throw a couple of things at you right now. Now I'm gonna hold your hostage for another couple of minutes. Like, there's gotta be like George Foreman. Like, I was like, wow, that really fucking sucks. You know what I mean?
guy was such a hero. My
The
God,
guy was
what a
amazing.
what a what a story. Like
What a weirdo, though. All
a
right. First
total
of
dude.
all,
When he won the title, when he was like rolling on 50, it was amazing. Like,
why do
and
you
then
have 7 kids all named George, though? You're a weirdo, bro.
because he's hard. He's like a hardcore guy.
Because he's
He's like
hard.
messed up. You know what I mean?
He's all fucked up, bro. And then it was like,
Dude,
like a daughter, Georgette.
he hit like nobody.
I'm sure.
Like his kind of power was just
They were like
crazy. Like,
fucking tree branches. It was like fucking
dude,
long.
it's like getting hit by a telephone pole.
Yeah, yeah.
Brutal.
Brutal.
Tyson wanted no part of that. Tyson was like, I'm not fighting this guy.
I
First of
probably
all,
don't blame him.
style wise, Tyson was tailor made for Foreman. Because if
Yeah.
you look at Frazier, those type of fighters that come in and press and go for the knockout didn't do well against Foreman. Now, I'm not saying Foreman would have necessarily beat Tyson, but I think he would have, just stylistically speaking. Even though he was slower and older, he would have kept his hands up. He would have held him. He would have hit him on the way in. And I think if Tyson can't knock you out, he's pretty much not beating you.
Right. Yeah. He
So
would get frustrated and get sloppy and then get fucked up.
I think, yeah, I think he didn't want any part. If he even admits, I didn't want any part of George Foreman.
Yeah, probably. I grew to have a lot more respect in later years for Mike Tyson.
Listen, he was very skilled,
Yeah.
very
In
skilled.
later years when he copped to everything and he did his one man show. You watch his one man show?
Yeah, yeah.
It's fucking, bro, it's heartbreaking with his daughter dying, this and that, and all this shit.
Terrible stuff.
It's terrible stuff, but he like admitted to all this fuck ups and this and that and this and that. So like just from all of that stuff, like, and now he's Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't know. I gained a lot of respect for him. I lost all the respect for him when he bit Holyfield's ear.
Well, he never came back to win a fight he was losing, except for when he stopped friends both. He caught him with like a right
Yes,
hand.
that
Like
weird
really,
fucking short right. Yeah,
but he really like he never showed that real determination to turn it around. He was kind of like a one-dimensional fighter, although he was like very, very extreme in that one. He could get things done. Like
yeah.
he had extreme speed, he had real skill. He just wasn't like, and that makes me feel like he's not an all-time great.
Right, but
He
he's even
had
admitted. He's even admitted.
he had all-time great attributes and ability, but
Right.
I don't think he was he never showed that part of what like guys like Sugar Ray Robinson showed and Muhammad Ali showed and George Foreman showed, like that come from behind. Rocky Marciano, all those guys came from behind to show these attributes. I mean,
Yeah.
he always came up short whenever he was put in that position.
He even admitted several times though. He's like, he lost like the real like fire to even box. He was fighting for money. He was like he didn't really care anymore.
Well, that's why he's
And
not
that's
that's why he's not an all-time great.
right. Yeah. So now what celebrities are you gonna wind up fucking getting a little bit upset with when they tap out?
Well, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's
Bro,
hard to
come on,
say.
you got to get a little, bro. I'm going to admit it.
I don't want to see Holyfield go. I don't want to see James Toney go. I'm talking about fighters. I don't want to see go.
Oh yeah.
As far
What
as,
about
as far
like
as
actors and
celebrities,
shit?
I
Yeah.
don't know. What do I know about actors? Who do I
Come
know?
on, bro. There's certain people that you don't even realize they're woven into the fabric of your being from like as a kid.
Stop.
You like how I worked that in there that time? You
I
didn't
don't
see
really.
that one coming. But come on,
Nah.
you're not gonna be upset when fucking Sylvester Stallone dies, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Stallone's,
That's gonna be rough.
Stallone's hard.
My chin might quiver a little bit, maybe a little bit.
If we weren't live right now, I got one in the chamber. Bang! You'd be in real trouble, my friend. You're lucky this is public.
I know.
I'm gonna hit you with it next time we're hanging out.
I know. You're very tame and very calm. It's like
Very
I,
calm, because we're trying to get the point across here. People are interested in music, trying to
right.
talk about music. You know what I mean? Like I
But
gotta.
people also enjoy a good shit show.
Yeah. But when it comes to music, I take it very seriously. You know
No,
what I
I
mean?
know that. I
Like
know.
I'm not playing. When it comes to that, I really I take it
Sure.
very. I take bass playing very seriously. Like
Yeah.
I'm very interested in being a good bass player and being proficient and being able to like to be able to step into any situation on short notice and make it sound really good.
Right.
You know,
You've proven yourself over and over again.
I'm trying. That's what
Yeah.
I like to do. It's because I enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you bring Red out on tour with you?
Makes me happy.
Did
No,
Red stay home?
Red stayed home. Red was going to come out and play New York with Marky, but there was a little bit of neck buzz going on, so I used my black Fender instead.
Gotcha.
I have a black American Fender that I primarily use. The flat black one I use a lot.
Yeah.
And that thing's like, in very good working order. So it just wound up being that way.
How is Red as far as condition wise?
Red's
Red's gone through a lot.
Yeah, Red's a great instrument. Nothing sounds like Red. I use Red in the studio. Uh, she needs to be touched up every once in a while and balanced out. And the last time I got it balanced out, she felt good, but when I would play her at full capacity live, the notes would choke a little. So she needs a little adjustment. I got a great guy, so I'm going to bring it to the guy. And, we already talked about it. I said, listen, she choked a little. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, well, it felt really good. But then when you get up live, there's like it's like sparring versus a fight. Like it has to happen because it's on. You know what I mean? So you make that decision at rehearsals and you try to like get get the live vibe going and you decide what you're going to use.
Yeah. Very
So
cool.
Red just needs a little TLC and she'll be back.
Good. You have Red for what, 40 years?
I got it read in 83, probably the spring of 83 or something like
Jesus
that.
fucking
Sometime
Christ.
in 83.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom bought me Red. My mom bought me Red in 83.
Yeah. And Red is on all the Sick of It All records except for yours truly, correct?
Yeah, I know. I think Call to Arms was my brown bass. I
Okay.
have a brown bass. It's a Schecter body with a walnut neck. I think that bass sounds nice on that record. So
Yeah.
I use the brown bass on that on Call to Arms. But
Yeah.
it sounds like Red. I got it to sound a lot like Red, you know.
Okay.
They
All right.
all, so it's the way I play sounds like
True.
me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's more the way I play and what I think sounds good, like as far as setting up, the way I play and how I set up the amp and all that, it sounds like me. Even when I set it up for a different band, it still sounds like me because it's got that the pick attack, you know,
Yeah.
the cut on the strokes. You know what I mean? I have a certain way that I do that and set it up. So even for like a band that doesn't sound like Sigavidal, for example, it'll still sound like me playing the bass because there's like a cutting percussiveness to it, I guess is what I'd
All
say.
right. Very good. Very cool, Craig. Well, I'm
It's about time to
glad we finally fucking, got
got
together
back to
and
it.
did this. Yeah, you got back to me. I had to put you on the spot on Saturday, like an asshole. I had to do that.
No, you've been asking me for a while, so it's good that we came out and did it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I said, fuck it, let's just bang it out, and then I'll leave you alone until the next time.
All right, let me know when it's coming up, and I'll check it out.
Yeah, I send this to my guy. He puts on the little fucking intro on it, and then he gives it back to me, and then I upload. I'll tag you on the Instagram, and I'll let you know. I'll text you. I'll be like, listen, I'm going to drop it tomorrow. Keep an
Tag me
eye.
on it.
Yeah, I tag you. I do a little collaboration requesting the Instagrams.
Yeah, sure. We'll
The,
do it. We'll
all
do it.
that fucking
All of that.
all that bullshit.
All of that.
All the bullshit. I gotta shout out Generation Records because they sponsor the podcast. Shout out to Generation Records. Follow them on Instagram at Generation Records, located at 210 Thompson Street here in the West Village in New York City. And shout out to Marc and Ron and all those guys. So Generation Records. Do the right thing if you're in the area. They're the fucking greatest record store out there.
Great.
Yeah, great.
Wonderful. No,
Yeah,
I'm saying it's great. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
great. Yeah, fucking lovely.
Hey, they're keeping it. They're part of the whole thing. You know, you got to respect it.
They really are.
That's what I'm saying.
They really are a part of the.
I'm not mocking it. I'm
I
agreeing
know.
with
I
you.
know your
I'm
tone
agreeing
sounds like
with
a
you.
little mocking fan.
No, I'm hungry. I'm just hungry, and I'm
Oh,
like,
you're
yeah,
hungry. All right.
I want to eat. You know what I mean? I want to eat. But all
No,
respect to
you're gonna start
Generation
turning
Records,
into
of
it. You're gonna
course.
start- All right. I'll let you go.
All right, buddy.
Love you too.
I'll send you photos of the meal on WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp, right? Because the texting doesn't work. Yeah,
And because your phone sucks.
listen,
Cheap bastard, your phone sucks.
my phone rules. Everything I do rules.
All right, listen, buddy. Good to talk to you. I'll talk to you later.
Absolutely, man.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Always. Later.
Later.